The following is a presentation from PokerStars.net.
For me, it started small. From pool halls in Toronto to poke rooms in Las Vegas.
It's given me a life
I never could have dreamed.
The game has taken me around the world. I've seen it all.
From the Windy City to Sin City.
This game can make you a legend.
This game can make you a champion.
It may have started small.
It may have started
But now, it's the big game.
This is the next generation.
It doesn't get any bigger than this.
This is the PokerStars.net Big Game.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Las Vegas for another exciting week of the big game. Alongside Joe Stapleton, I'm Chris Rose. Tonight, we have some of the poker world's brave young guns facing off with more than $500,000 already on the table.
Including the $100,000 that 25-year-old Justin Bonomo has bought in for. He's got $2.4 million in live tournament winnings.
One of the legends of poker, three-time bracelet winner Barry Greenstein, starts off with $100,000.
Then it's on to 23-year-old sensation Jason Mercier out of Fort Lauderdale. He's won almost $5 million in his 2.5-year career.
22-year-old Joe Cada is the youngest player at this table, still riding high off of his 2009 main event title.
And in the next seat is 26-year-old Alaei, cash game specialist out of Los Angeles.
And this week's loose cannon has been staked $100,000. Her name is Nadya Magnus from Palatine, Illinois. She is with Amanda Leatherman.
Nadya, you're the single mother of a 16-year-old son at home. This has to be a chance of a lifetime for you. Are you super excited?
Yeah, I really do feel on top of the world, and it feels like this is the chance of a lifetime for a better life for me and my son.
What's going through your mind right now?
Just butterflies.
Yeah, and you're ready to play with the big boys today.
Absolutely. I'm ready to mess with the big boys.
I'm always rooting for a woman. Go get them, all right?
All right, thank you.
Nadya has been staked $100,000. She will keep all profits above the initial $100,000. And at the end of the season, the loose cannon who wins the most money earns a North American Poker Tour passport worth $50,000.
Was ready?
Are you ready?
Was born ready.
That would be born ready back in the USSR. Nadya grew up in the former Soviet Union. I also heard she has a photo of Yakov Smirnoff in her wallet.
Who doesn't? Nice starting hand for Nadya, king, queen, offsuit.
Raise.
Right off the bat.
Not wasting time.
The loose cannons only have 150 hands. There's no time like the present.
Nadya raised to 1,300. Action folds over to Barry Greenstein. Re-raised to 4,500 with suited connectors.
He's wasting no time attacking the loose cannon.
It goes fold over to Danny. Pocket fives. He gets rid of it. And now action back on the original raiser.
Out of respect to you, first hand. Other than that,
Just respect.
one time.
Yeah, out of respect for
Out of respect, yeah.
One time.
Barry is obviously well aware of our loose cannon format. He is wasting no time bullying Nadya.
Well, here are the rules of the big game. Each table lasts exactly 150 hands. The action pre-flop is pot limit, then becomes no limit after the flop. Blinds are 2 and 400 with a $100 ante. The player on the button will ante for the whole table. Each player begins with at least $100K but can reload for up to $500,000.
Nadya daydreams of becoming a professional poker player. She says she studies the game 24/7, reading every book she can get her hands on. Might I suggest Ace on the River by Barry Greenstein?
Justin Bonomo has yet to write a book. But if he did, Chapter 7 would be How I Raised Ace-4 Suited.
If he did, I would say pre-order it now. He's one of the best thinkers in the game.
You didn't really raise him.
Action folds to Nadya.
Not a coincidence Barry didn't re-raise Justin.
Nadya folds.
Don't worry, Barry will be re-raising me plenty today, I promise
It was
you.
a nice welcome, Barry. Thank you very much.
Well, I had one of those hands that I like to re-raise with. I'm just trying to build a pot.
Excuses. Just started and you're already picking on it.
No. I don't pick on girls.
At the table, there are no boys and girls. It's just poker players.
Very good. Barry folds. Mercier's out of the way. Cada folds.
Can you raise so I can fold?
Okay.
Looks like Danny's going to oblige.
Oh, thank you so much.
Danny does raise to 1,500. And Nadya folds. But Justin Bonomo calls.
He's got Danny dominated.
Queen deuce deuce. Check by Bonomo.
Just like that, Danny hits his queen. Way out in front.
Fires 2,100 and wins the pot.
First blood. So where are you from in Russia?
400 miles east of Moscow.
So in Asia, right?
No.
Oh, east.
East of Moscow, yeah.
But still in Europe?
Oh, yeah, it's Central Russia. Absolutely.
Nadya has actually lived in America for a decade. She still has plenty of family overseas. Ace Jack for Jason Mercier. Raises to 1,400. Joe Cada folds. Ace King for Danny.
Kind of unlucky for Jason, for Danny to wake up with Ace King.
Danny just calls. The loose cannon folds. So does Bonomo. So too does Barry.
In cash games, some players like to re-raise with Ace King. Others like to see a flop. And the best mix it up.
4, 9, 10, a pair of clubs.
Danny's still ahead, but Jason did have the pre-flop lead. He's supposed to continue. You find that right in Barry's book.
Mercier does lead out to 1,900. And that gets Danny to fold. Jason wins a pot of almost 6 grand.
Keep an eye on Jason's stack. If he keeps winning pots, occasionally he will build a little fortress out of his chips. He's the Frank Lloyd Wright of chip stacks.
Oh, let's see how expensive his house gets tonight. Action folds over to Nadya. She's out. So too's Bonomo. Barry Greenstein, king deuce offsuit. Fires 1,400 on a raise.
King high on the button, good enough for a raise from this aggressive player.
Jason Mercier, 8-5 suited, small blind. Re-raise to 4,700, gets Cada to fold. Barry 2.
Good read from Mercier.
Hey, Barry got caught.
Oh, now it's all about me and you, huh? That's your money.
Oh, thanks. Gee.
Actually, it's not.
No, I took those exact chips I got off her.
Jason, use them wisely, because I want them.
Nadya wants some of her chips back as the loose cannon's talking a big game in the early going. And if you want to sit where she's sitting, be a loose cannon, simply log on to PokerStars.net. There are free qualifying tournaments every day. We're back with more after this. Welcome back to Las Vegas, home of the big game online qualifier. Nadya Magnus has been staked 100 grand and is sitting with some of the best players in the world.
Nadya says her nightmare scenario would be to be busted and embarrassed on national TV.
No, and Barry said he was going to rebuy me if you guys bust me.
I think the opposite would be true for these guys as well.
Bonomo raises.
Now that I know you're from Europe, that kind of changes things.
As Barry and Nadya continue their small talk, action folds around to Danny Alaei. The cash game specialist, ace-9 suited, calls.
He's in at a discount to take a peek.
And a nice peek. 8 ace-ace. Trip aces for Danny, who checks.
He's checking to the pre-flop raiser, hoping he'll continue.
Bonomo does, betting 2,500.
Daniel's pausing for a second. Make no mistake, he's not going anywhere. He's actually a very deliberate player. All he's thinking about is how to extract as much value as he can out of his hand.
And makes the smooth call.
Justin may know something's up already.
The turn, queen of spades. Danny checks again.
Once again, he checks to the original raiser.
Bonomo, check right back at you. Jack on the river.
Now, we know Justin's playing the board and can't call a bet, but Danny doesn't know that. He's trying to figure out a value bet Justin might call.
Danny fires 6,000, getting Bonomo to fold. And Danny rakes in a nice little pot.
I want to join the party. Can I have some hands, please?
Well, playing in this poker party is a dream come true for Nadya Magnus, a woman who feels both pride and pain in her heart at the table.
This necklace I've inherited from my mom, who passed away about 1.5 years ago, unexpectedly, out of nowhere, and I missed it. I missed it by a week. I was scheduled to go home and visit my family, and I was late, about a week late. I can't do this. She was this artistic, creative person, and she always loved me doing all these shows, and she would definitely love to see this big game, this big, huge TV production, and see her daughter compete like against all these, guys, and just be strong and, do really well. She would really enjoy it. I hope I can really do well, and she could maybe see me from above and, be happy for me.
Nadya says if she wins some money, she's going to visit her father back in the former